Bethany Ann pushed forward as she reached for life on the floor, stepping down the hallway as her team came up behind her. She turned left at the next juncture, her HUD allowing her to see easily. The fire control system had kicked in to shut down the fire, and the security bot had started. She turned left toward a wall, ignoring the massive doors to her right. She holstered her pistol and stabbed her etheric sword into the wall, willing the power to flow through her and into the stone, which started to sizzle, then crack, and finally to melt. Feegly turned to her right to see a point of red light pierce the wall and continue another 6 inches beyond.
She's here. This game is over.
Feegly never felt the plasmium bolt that entered the back of her head, causing her face to explode and coat the wall in front of her.
There is always hope while you still breathe. She was a doubter.
Carol stepped behind the table, holstered his pistol, and tried to lift the edge.
Someone help me turn this over!
3 others rushed over and heaved, and the heavy table crashed onto its side as the 4 took positions behind it.
Whoever comes through, fire!
4 hands aimed their pistols, waiting for the wall to crack open. Bethany Ann waved Gabrielle over.
Class is in session.
What, now?
I want you to feel the etheric, the draw and the flow. Continue energizing this sword.
Bethany Ann, we are on an up. Not the best time to be practicing.
Consider it a pop quiz with a really bad fail result. Now grab this with me.
Gabrielle stepped up next to Bethany Ann, who had moved her hand up the hilt to allow Gabrielle a place to grab.
You feel the energy?
Yes. Oh! Shh!
Open yourself to the draw. Feel the energy's movement and duplicate it. You got this.
Gabrielle narrowed her eyes in concentration as she reached into the flow. She thought about the truth of the etheric as she understood it. A dimension that had a form of reality which the nanocytes within her engaged to create energy or other properties that operated on her body to make changes. She willed the nanocytes to move energy without using it.
Whoa!
Bethany Ann released the hilt. The surge of power threatened to overwhelm Gabrielle. She was pleased to see that the sword didn't falter.
Grenades?
John strode up to Bethany Ann.
Seriously? You're going to co-opt my weapons now?
Fine.
She smiled and pushed him, and he disappeared. She took a step and followed.
Warn a guy next time.
John was about 10 feet away from where Bethany Ann entered the etheric.
Don't be so stingy, and I'll think about it.
She walked over to him and then leaned forward to look into the room for a split second. She grabbed John's arm and pulled him 5 feet to the left.
We don't want you to appear 7 stories in the air.
That would be a surprise drop. So what's the plan?
Well, I wanted a few grenades, and you didn't want to share. So I'll just send you.
Send what?
John felt her foot plant itself on his ass. And push.